Like many BET productions, you would be remiss to underestimate Christmas Party Crashers based on its name and also what is sold in the poster and part of the trailer. So, to summarize Christmas Party Crashers, Trey is a man who's into the fashion industry and he badly wants to legitimize himself by meeting a woman named London, who's a fashion influencer from a very famous family, and working with her. Tara wants to meet London's father, Elliot, because he can be a major investor in her dating app that pulls information publicly available from the internet in order to find you the perfect match. Together, they try to trick Elliot's family by pretending to be cousins, with Trey getting to mostly stick to the truth of his story by being a fashion designer, one that seduces London to a certain degree, though she's also using him to get back at her ex. And as for Tara, she tries to pitch her rap, but what gets her in when it comes to Elliot's family is that Sapphire, Elliot's wife, she doesn't have the Christmas event planner that she was hoping to this year. So, being that Tara has been crashing parties for a long time and is pretty good at planning parties, she offers her services, and with that, she finds her in. However, what neither Trey nor Tara fully understand or realize at first is that Elliot's family is going through a lot of drama between Elliot and Sapphire having issues, London having issues with her ex, and kind of not being on the same page with her parents. And then when you throw in Elliot's mother, Carolina, I forgot how you pronounce that woman's name. Either way, being that she is a little less, scatterbrained because of all that's going on in her life, and she can just focus on what's going on in the house, they have to worry about her, that is Tara and Trey, because she figures things out rather quickly. Oh, and let's just throw in there, Tara's mom is trying to come back into her life after, in her mind, that is Tara's abandoning her, and her Aunt Rhonda's trying to facilitate those two reconciling. So there's a lot going on in the Christmas season when it comes to Christmas Party Crashers. So the first highlight when it comes to Christmas Party Crashers is Grandma Carolina, and that's because when it comes to Christmas movies, it seems way too often that the people are politically correct, very posh, and pretty much bland. That's not the case with Grandma Carolina. Now, this isn't to imply, especially because this is the BET Plus film, that this is a Tyler Perry movie where she seems like she's straight out of a Madea movie. No. She does have some ways about her that, gives you a bit of a down home, if not urban flair, but she's not full on doing neck rolls to the point that she looks like she needs a neck brace. She's just someone who enjoys the lifestyle that her son can afford, but at the same time, she's not with the bullshit of everything that comes with it. And with that said, that's where you can find a lot of her value in this movie in terms of how she handles Tara, how she handles Trey, especially when it comes to things that don't deal with having comical moments, but instead her being in on the secret and also trying to convey some information about her relationship with Elliot and how Tara can use that when it comes to her relationship with her mother, Diane. And speaking of Diane, was it Diana? But anyway, point of the matter is, Diane is one of those type of parents who was a better provider than she was able to parent. And it's not because she's like a bad person, didn't love her child or anything like that, but she was a single parent. She had to struggle a little bit. She worked her job and then, then trying to be, super mom. That wasn't Diana's life. Whichever. We're going to go with Diane because it's just seemingly the first thing I think of. Either way, because Diane wasn't able to both be a provider and also, the type of maternal role that Tara needed and also deserved, that's why Rhonda raised her. And you can tell Rhonda and also Tara bonded very well to the point that Diane is kind of like a stranger, and Tara is so rude Tara is so rude that she calls her mom by her first name, but as Carolina makes clear, she too had issues with her son, and it led to them not speaking for quite some time. But because the son decided to be the bigger person, they talked and worked things out, got an understanding, they reconciled. And you can see when it comes to Christmas party crashes, while dang near every Christmas movie has some type of family drama in it, this one feels less of an obligation and more like they want to show that, yes, Christmas movies often feature these strange, kind of over the top situations, but that doesn't mean you can't have genuine relationships. You can't have genuine drama and issues that a lot of families go through, that because holidays are one of those main things that bring people together, like funerals and weddings. It doesn't mean that just because Christmas holidays are supposed to be happy-go-lucky events, that hard conversations and tough situations that require people to like open up their minds, open up their hearts, can't be done. The last highlight is just a respect for both Tara and Trey's hustle. Yes, they had to trick Elliot's family in order to get in and pitch their product. But at the same time, the question is, how else would they get anywhere? We're often told that you have to network, know the right people, and it's not just about your skills, your education, or whatever. So crashing parties where you know that person's going to be there, you don't have to go through an assistant, you don't have to deal with that whole boardroom setup, which can be kind of uncomfortable. You know, is it wrong that they crash these parties, which are very expensive, have guest lists, security, and all that? Yeah, but at the same time, you have to respect the hustle. Tara has figured out multiple ways of how to get into a party, past security and everything. And on top of that, she learned what's a good party, what's a bad party. She seemingly knows a few caterers and different people to get things set up, and she pretty much saves whatever Sapphire wanted to have happen. And also, she doesn't just know how to do it in terms of the superficial part of things looking good. She also knows how to foster the kind of environment that allows families and guests to get together and really have the holiday spirit. So, as you can see, and I think this is why I really like Tara, her hustle might be mainly in computer science and trying to get this app off the ground, but she has backup plans because she knows you gotta make money one way or the other. So, respect has to be given. And then with Trey, yes, he doesn't hustle as hard as Tara does, but it kind of shows you the alternative path. If your skills don't get you through the door, then you gotta look good, smell good, and know who knows who so that you can kind of go through them to get what you want. Now, in this case, he just has to go straight to London, but he had to go through Tara to get him into the door so that he could meet London. And on top of that, he had to use, if not better said, allow himself to be used so that London can get her boyfriend jealous. So there's a lot of transactional things going on that shows you another side of networking. Sometimes networking means you're making friends with people who feel like family, and other times it's just a transaction between people who need different things. Whether someone cute on their arm, someone to make them look good, whatever. So the on-the-fence topic for us is London. Sapphire, she's very much that usual hoity-toity, rich black woman. Elliot, same thing, male version, also a little bit of an ass. Carolina, she is someone who, definitely has a bit of a comic relief element, but as noted with her talking to Tara about her relationship with her son and how that can relate to Diane, there's more to her than, being the fun grandma. Tara, we just went into her and also Trey about their hustle and how they feel very grounded even with the hijinks that they get into. And even when it comes to Diane and Rhonda. Rhonda kind of has a Carolina vibe in terms of, being a bit of an around-the-way girl with a bit of humor, but can also get serious. And Diane, she doesn't really fit everybody else's thing because she's just pure, I'm trying to reconcile with my daughter and try to have a little bit of fun in the process. But London is straight up, I won't say she's the worst character because that's not fair. But I do feel like the same effort you see put into other characters so that they can be more than what they were introduced as, it's not fully given to London. She doesn't get the kind of nuance that Carolina gets. Even the time if you want to talk about Sapphire and Elliot, yes, you can say they're definitely that stereotypical rich, disconnected couple. But as time goes on, you can see that Sapphire wants them to be back to where they was, just she doesn't know how to get there because Elliot puts work before his family so much. And then with Elliot, you can see that probably one of the reasons he put work before family so much is because he's good at work. Work is easy for him. Family requires more work than he's perhaps willing to go for. And while he has made progress with his mother, making progress with his daughter, never mind his wife, it hasn't been as quick or easy. So hence him always going back to work. So you see how this you could easily build up characters even if things aren't like spelled out for you. London doesn't get that. London sees Trey as a reason to get her boyfriend jealous. She's kind of obsessed with getting them on video, camera, finding not Ellis, wrong show, finding Trey. And that's for the most part what her character's about. And yes, she makes it very clear that she was aware of things being transactional in the end, but at that point it's like, you can't give me last minute development when everybody else had a full arc across the whole movie. Overall, I wouldn't say Christmas Party Crashes is going to be a classic you watch every year, but it is one of those movies that definitely feel like it's at least worth watching once, just because it shows you that Christmas movies can be so much more than that generic formula that we've watched over and over again. It can really address and give you genuine family drama. It can give you characters that don't seem bland as hell just because they have some level of privilege. And even when it comes to more comic relief characters, it can allow them to be multifaceted rather than one note.